The last thing you want to find yourself doing is taking a step when you haven't prepared another step to be there. Like, in other words, if you've given 2 weeks at your job and you didn't bother to find another job and you just assume that something's going to come along and everything's going to be all right, that's not a good place to be. You have to make sure that that next step is already in place. So before you make that step or take that trip or, you take that action or you invest something, make sure you have, some sort of like backup plan or some sort of steady ground that you can take that step on, something else to carry you along the way. Just to, just throw caution to the wind and reckless abandon, that's not a good way to live, trust me. Just to have blind faith and just give it a shot and hope that everything works out. I mean, nowadays especially, I really would discourage people from doing that. It's always good to have contingencies, backup plans. You're not playing it safe, you're just playing it smart. So you have to know the difference. The thing with manifesting is that people seem to think that spirituality is this like otherworldly, cosmic, celestial thing that is like some sort of made up space language, that it's nonsense and gibberish. Actually, it's the everything of everything. What you're experiencing here in the physical is just a low vibrational expression of that divine, metaphysical, cosmic synergy. This is lower and slower so your five senses can perceive it. So it's actually everything. But because it's been so meticulously convoluted over the years with all of these books and, duality, mysticism, consciousness, and they go on for hours. It's just hours and hours, and it's all made up stuff. When the people have near-death experiences, they're actually just journeying through their own perceptive lens of eternity. What's happening to them is real when they leave the body. That's all real stuff. But what I'm saying is that your perception is like your own little universe, and you can't go outside that, because you don't know how to. How do you know to be anything other than yourself? How you perceive things, interpret them, understand them, relate to them, comprehend them, along those lines. So that doesn't change when the soul leaves the body. So that's why everybody's journey outside the body is always different. It's always different. I've heard so many vastly differing accounts of, I was hit by a car and I was floating above my body, and then all of a sudden I was whisked away to this peaceful place, and all I wanted to just be was there for eternity, and I didn't want to come back to the earth. And there's always different, because in life you're different. So it's not going to be any different when you leave your body and go wherever you're going to go. That's why you can't take that stuff with a grain of salt. You have to take it at face value for what it is. It's only somebody's account of their own journey through their own energy. So that's why it's always different. But the universe allows them to come back, because the universe is letting you know that death is nothing to look forward to, but nothing to be afraid of. Meaning there is no death. Death is an illusion. It's just, you're just transferring form. You're moving from the form of the physical to the formless non-physical again, because that is your true nature. So always have a contingency or a plan, but when you want to take that step, make sure you have another step to place your feet, literally, figuratively, metaphorically on, because you don't want to fall. Trusting in God is something else. If the universe is telling you, if you trust in me, have faith in me, go ahead. In times like that, that's a personal decision. I can't make a decision like that for you. I know I've been called on to have that happen to me a few times in my life. I'm not getting into the particulars on this channel. It's way too personal. I don't share my personal things with people here. But what I can tell you is that, I had some situations happen, and, I questioned and I was given an answer and I followed through. And I was like, yeah, sometimes the universe is going to ask you to take a big, and I mean big, leap of faith, or that, that step into the unknown, to see where you are as far as your faith in the universe or not, or if it's just like flaky and wavering, and, you don't really mean what you say, that type of thing. Because the universe will weed you out. Trust me, man. You can't fool God. Ain't no way. But anyway, it's best to always have backups and a place to step when you decide to leave from where you are to where you want to go. Make sure you got it all planned out. But don't be so rigid in your thinking that it has to be this way. If the universe is offering you something better, go with it. But don't just freaking go when you don't have anything planned. That's kind of dangerous, because you're going to find up finding yourself either homeless or destitute or broke or all of the above. And that's a horrible place to be, man. But anyway, peace be with you always.